Hello, my name is Glenn, I am Jess's husband, and today we are working on clip art / stock. So how to prepare it, how to cut it out, how to export it for web as a nice, beautiful, transparent PNG ready for your store. It's very important to know this kind of stuff because you might do a beautiful painting or take a very gorgeous photo, you'll get it on your computer, you'll do a horrendous job cutting it out, you'll put it on your online store, someone will download it, pay good money for it, get it, want to use it but can't because the cutting out is horrendous and they give you a 1-star review. We don't want that to happen. Let's do things properly. Let's watch this video. Okay, so the first thing we need to take into account is that there is a difference between a JPEG and a PNG, and that big difference is the PNG holds an alpha channel, which means it can have transparency. What I mean by that is here we have a JPEG. It has a white background. Now that white background is always going to be attached to it. In contrast to the PNG we just have here, which has no background. This has an alpha channel, which means once you cut something out and you save it as a PNG, you can save it and retain that transparency. So if I was to drag this JPEG here into Photoshop onto this background just here and hit enter, as we can see, the white background comes with it because it's a flat JPEG. However, if I was to grab this beautiful PNG just here, plonk it on, hit enter, as we see, it retains its transparency. So today we are making PNGs and not JPEGs. Okay, so we have our artworks which we'll be cutting out. So again, these could be anything. It could be photos you've taken, etc. But we just need to cut something out and sell it for online use. So we're in Adobe Photoshop. We've dragged our items into Photoshop. So we're going to go through a few basic ways to cut things out. So there are harder ways to cut things out, so more manual ways which will have more control, and there are easy ways to cut things out where the computer takes control and selects things for you. It's much like setting your camera to auto or manual. Obviously you'll have more control if you do things manually, though for speed, setting things to auto can make things faster, especially if you have a lot of things to cut out. So the important thing to note with the faster selection tools before we start is they're not always going to work for every single image. You might have an image which works perfectly with the computer selecting it, though you might have another image which doesn't work and you might have to go and do things manually. Now, some people I've noticed, they use the auto tools for everything and a lot of their stock looks terrible and it's almost not usable because the edges of the stock are butchered. So I'll show you that in a second. So let's go over to the left-hand side of our toolbar and we're going to select the object selection tool. So in this area just here, just hold click and it'll bring you a number of options. So object selection tool. And I'm going to hover over our image. As we can see, it's already doing a good job recognizing what I want to cut out. I'm going to click. Now this is a good example of an image which the computer can select quite easily. Now the reason this computer can select this image quite easily is because it's a big block of color. It's easy to define the edges of this image. So if I was to go edit copy, edit paste, and paste this on its own layer, or you could use Control C, Control V on the keyboard. As we can see, it's done a great job cutting out our image. So 2 thumbs up so far. But what I want to teach you is look at this image over here. Can the computer auto select this image? This image is quite different. As we can see, there are faint leaves. There is nuance in here, which the computer is going to have a hard time seeing, recognizing, and chopping out. So let's use the same tool with the same settings. Click and see what it does. It's made us a selection, so I'm going to copy and paste this onto its own layer. And as we can see, we have just gotten a very, very different result. So that is important to note. This is a good example of an image that we'll need to cut out manually. Okay, so the quick selection tool is great if your image has high contrast. So if it's like a block of color or it's an object with a nice white background or a flat color background, if the computer can see the edges that are nice and defined, you can use this quicker option to cut things out. However, as we've just seen, it doesn't always work. So what other options do we have? So if we go over here, we'll click, we'll try the quick selection tool. This is another quick way of Photoshop cutting things out for you. Now I'm going to show you how this works, but this is a tool I wouldn't recommend using if you want to get quality stock online. What you do is you select it, and you select the part of the image that you want. So I'm going to click around here, and as we can see, it's auto-selecting this leaf for us. I'm clicking and dragging, and it's detecting the area that I'm dragging the cursor through, and it's selecting things within that area roughly. So you don't really have much control, as you can see. All I'm doing is making a quick little line through my canvas with it, and it's selecting everything that it assumes I want. So it hasn't done a bad job, but I wouldn't say it's done a good job either. Let's have a look. Fantastic. It's okay, though it's very temperamental. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it to its own layer. Hasn't done a bad job. There are things that it's missed. There's little nuances around the painting which it hasn't actually selected, but not too bad. It does work. I personally wouldn't use this tool to cut anything out, though it's okay. So you might find it handy. It might work for you. I wouldn't recommend it. So let's try another tool. We've also got the Magic Wand tool. Now the Magic Wand tool works very similarly. You click and it selects things for you, but you don't click and drag. So you just make single clicks. So click, 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 and it selects various parts for you. Now in the top part of the toolbar at the top, you have tolerance. So the higher the tolerance, the more it's going to select. For example, if I was to set this to 5, it's currently on 40. Let's lower it to 5 and use the Magic Wand tool and click. As we can see, it's barely selecting anything because it's so low. The tolerance is so low. However, if I increase this to 50, click, it selects quite a lot. So the tolerance does increase the potency of that tool. Now, I wouldn't recommend using the Magic Wand tool either. The only circumstance I recommend using the Magic Wand tool is not selecting the object, but selecting the outside of the object. For example, as we can see, the paper, it's roughly the same shade, almost. I would suggest if you're going to use the Magic Wand tool, don't select your object, select everything but your object. So let's select the paper. The threshold's too high now. As we can see, it's eaten into our leaf. There are elements here that are not selected. I am going to select the tolerance to about 20. We'll try that again. Let's select the paper, just out here. Click. Fantastic. Hasn't done a bad job. As we can see, the top left-hand corner hasn't been selected yet. So I'm going to click here again. And what I'm going to do is on the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, so everything is selected but the leaf. As we can see, we've selected the paper. Now that we have the paper selected, I'm going to go select, inverse. So this inverts the selection. So instead of the paper being selected, everything but the paper is selected, which means the leaves are now selected. It hasn't done a bad job. Let's copy and paste this to its own layer. Not a bad job, though I would not use this for stock. So let's put a white background behind it to check it out. As we can see, the quality of this is terrible. Obviously, you can tweak it and play with it, but again, you don't always get the best result from the speedier ways of cutting things out. Okay, so on to my favorite way to cut things out. This is the longer way, the manual way, though it's the foolproof way. It's always there in case everything else fails. So that is using the pen tool located just here, or P on the keyboard. Now quickly, to use the pen tool, you need to have the paths option up as well. So under Windows, Paths, make sure this is up. And that is because anything you make with the pen tool will appear over here. What I mean by that is, let's just make a quick square with the pen tool, like so. That appears in Paths. And from Paths, you can hold Control, click on this layer, and as we can see, it makes a selection, like so. Nice and easy. Again, that was just making a path with the pen tool, closing it, holding Control, clicking on it, and that turns it into a selection. So the big question is, how do you use the pen tool? Well, first, obviously, you click on it, and then you find the edge of your drawing that you want to cut out, and we'll make our first click. And from here, we can make a straight line, as we've just done just there, or we can click, don't let go, hold it, make sure you've still got your mouse button held, and you can make a curved line, like so. So we can curve it around our image. Beautiful. And from here, see this node just here, we've just made, hold Alt and click on it, and it closes it off so that you can keep going with your cutout. So what I mean by that is currently it's bent. This is a bent line. And if I was to click again over here, for example, it's going to make another bent line. So what we do is we hold Alt and we break that node, click, and from here we can make another curved line. So let me do this over here so it makes more sense. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's quite simple. When you are using the pen tool, let's just say you're making straight lines. You just click, click, click. All I'm doing is clicking. And as I've just shown you, if you want to make a curved line, all you do is you click and hold and you can make curved lines. Though if you want to go back into a sharp line from a curved line, you can't do that because as soon as I click without holding, it's going to make another curve. So to get around this, just hold Alt and break that node and you can go back into making straight lines. So that is worth noting. So I'm just going to delete this selection because that's just an example. I just want to flag as well, when you are cutting something out, you need to go all the way around your object. So let's just say you start here and you're cutting out your object, whatever it may be. You can't end here. As we can see, this path has not been closed. We need to come all the way back around to our very first node and make sure the last node and the first node connect so it's a full circle or a full finished object before we go on to holding control and getting our selection from the paths area. I just want to flag that as well. I'm going to click around here. As we can see, we can make a beautiful selection around our object. I'm going to speed this footage up for you just so you don't have to watch the entire process because it's going to take a while. Okay, so I've got that cut out now. As we can see, I've got the line straight around the object. I'm now going to go over to my paths area and hold Control and click. And that has turned the path, which we just created, into our selection. So going back to the Layers tab, I can copy and paste this. As we can see, we have our object cut out. Okay, so we have all of our images chopped out, whether we've done them with the quick selection tools or the pen tool. We're ready to export them from Photoshop as PNGs ready for our store. Now to do this, it's rather easy. All we click on is File at the top, scroll down to Export and go over to Export As. So this option here allows us to export JPEGs, PNGs and GIF images. We're going to click on the PNG today because we want to hold that transparency and create clip art. You can change your sizes and various settings here, but for now we're just going to click on the export option in the bottom right hand corner and export every single image we've made. Okay, so we have all our images saved via that method. Fantastic. Here they are here. All PNGs, all cut out and ready to sell online. So let's just drag these into Photoshop just to say goodbye to them. Fantastic, to make sure they're all working nicely, which they are. Lovely. They're all a nice stock. Beautiful. Now before I would sell these, I would just brighten them up just a little bit. So image adjustment levels and just bring out those whites. As we can see, the whites here are still like a dull gray paper color. I'll just bring these out just a little bit, just increase those whites. Fantastic. And they would be ready to sell. Lovely. I hope that all makes sense. If you have any questions at all, just let me know. I hope there was a few methods in there which you can use for your stores, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching this video.